Welcome to Killarney International Raceway for round 2 of the South African Endurance Championship Series. It's the Mopar sponsored event, but this time out we also get Campos Transport on board for the 400. The Campos Transport 400 here at Killarney, and big crowds coming out to be part and parcel of this day's racing. Nice to see the crowds coming out to be part and parcel of it as well, and getting a chance to get up close and personal with all of the competitors as the grid walk happened up on the back straight on the KFM straight. All the drivers got to meet some of their fans and got to get up close and personal with them as well. Autographs were flying, but it was all important to get everything sorted out to get up and ready to go for this incredible race. 400 kilometers, which is going to be about 125 to 130 laps around the circuit, and 2 or 3 drivers per team. And we'll catch up with Roy Campos. He's got 3 drivers in his team.
It's a great event. For us, it's a family get together. I share the drive with my sons, Jason and Keegan. Last night, Jason we are trying to get pole position. He battled a little bit against Skrabanti. Franco's car pipped us by 0.01 of a second, so it's nice competition. So we're looking forward to the race.
Mark Larth's car will be piloted by a couple of local boys.
Mark Lauf unfortunately fell ill. He ran the Sports and GT race with us, and he got out of the car and he was quite ill. So he came to me and he said, would I mind to replace him in the team, and he would find another driver for Piet to drive in the BMW. So it's a change of scenery, Caroline. It's going to be an interesting race now.
Interesting car that's come along for the first time for the Dryzer team. That is a Lamborghini Huracan. Greg Parton and Shecht will be in that, but let's catch up with our youngsters in the Golf.
It's our first time driving this Golf and first time doing an endurance race. It is our first time in Cape Town. Everything's new, but so far it's very much fun. It's exciting, and we hope to finish the race.
It's a tricky track, especially around corner 3 and 2 to get the turns in that, but hopefully we'll get everything correct today.
Their teammates Brummer and Williams.
Yeah, we're expecting to finish the race. That's our main goal. A 3 hour in Cape Town is a long way to go. Mechanical failures is a daunting thing for us. But the team Made Racing did a lot of work on the off season and in between Bakisa race. So we think the car will be fine, and we'll do the whole 3 hour and hopefully win the race.
Well, Bachelor Motorsport have got a little interesting entry that they're going to have here. They've brought on along a couple of cars, and the most important one, of course, is going to be the College of Cape Town, who are coming out here to help out with a couple of the pre-event and during the event as well. So a little bit of a student mentorship being put together here by Mike Schmidt.
The students are here as part of a mentorship program which we've put together. The mentorship program is funded by the MASITA, which is the Manufacturing, Engineering and Related Services SETA. We're working through the TVET colleges around the country, so each province we go to race, we spend a day talking to the kids about motorsport engineering. On race weekend, like this weekend, we take their top 5 students and we apprentice them to the team for the weekend. They effectively become our crew. So they are mentored by my regular crew. We spend the weekend talking to them, training them, and hopefully this afternoon you'll see, if not all of them, but most of them actually involved in the pit stop during the central part of the race. Yeah.
Ferrari's involved, 458, brand new car there from the GT Club Sports stable. Dane Angel and Marcel Angel will be piloting that machine. And we've already seen the Lamborghini, so prancing horses and some bulls going to be fighting hard here in this race. But it's going to be really all about what you can do in endurance racing. It's all about tactics. There's got to be some kind of strategy involved, because otherwise, if you go hard too quickly, unfortunately, it will be costly, because there's a long time in the saddle. 120 odd laps to be done, and these guys and girls are going to be fighting hard for the next couple of laps. One of the front runners is certainly going to be the Dryzer Environmental Lamborghini Huracan, and we caught up with one of the pilots there, Jackie Schechter.
I'm quite nervous with anticipation, because the first time we do endurance racing, first time in the Lamborghini Huracan, and first time racing it that. So there's not to look forward to, not of unexpected things. So we just got to have a good time, learn what we need to do, and make sure we can get to the finish.
We're just going to set the pace early and keep to that pace. We're going for index, and then we're hoping the front boys fall out. With all their high power in that, we hope the engines break so that we can overtake them and maybe get a podium like we did last year.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, and here we go. Heads up on what a backdrop to go racing at. Table Mountain in the background, and they all drop the hammer and head down into KFM turn for the very first time. It'll be a little bit of settling in here. You can see different makes and marks of cars, a couple of endurance car specialists out there, and some endurance car specialist category contenders as well, because all of these cars, remember, have not only participated in the South African Endurance Racing Championship, but they fight out in different championships around the country as well. So once they get everything sorted out, you're going to see little groups of cars starting to get to grips with each other. Angel having a little bit of a tough start there, as you can see, having to come through on some of the Lotuses, some of the Alphas. At the front end, it seems to be a little bit of a gap being opened up right from the word go. And Franco Scrivanti, I think, will definitely have his work cut out for him here today, as he goes fighting with Silvio and the Campos brothers. Kind of in-house fight there amongst a lot of families involved in this racing as well. As I said, the Campos boys fighting hard with the Scrivanti boys. Fritz Kleinans and James Forbes will be pushing hard right from the word go, trying to get in the mix. And you can see Angel starting to tick them off one by one in that magnificent 458. The GT Club Sport boys have done a great job on that car, and unfortunately they didn't quite get the right size tyres, so he should be running 19s, he's running 17s, so you'll see if you get a close-up of those wheels that the wheels themselves are bulging ever so slightly wider than the tyres, but they didn't have enough time to change the tyres. They're going to have to fight hard right to the end and see if they can keep it all together now in that 458. Through the field, starting to sort things out there. You can see the BMWs, Lotus replicas fighting hard as well. 135 in the house there, and so far so good for that car. Let's see if we can keep it all together and see if the Sasselberg auto body of Steve Truter and Wayne Lotter can be in the front end by the time the checkered flag drops. Fantastic racing also out there. Remember, Michael Jensen and Andre Besaidnout, they're going to be piloting the front of the field at Formula Renault with the wheel arches over it for now. A slightly different option that you can play around with, but as you can see, definitely not a car to take out of the front end of this field, and certainly one that can give everybody a run for their money. Battle's already starting to field. You can see it's a little bit of a weird setup there right now. You can see at this stage the Harp Motorsport machine getting away and looking to get away. That's the Juno of Colin Plitt and Nick Adcock. Just behind them comes the Shelby, and right on their tail is that Ligier. The Ligier of Fritz Kleinans and James Forbes today. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a battle between the sports cars at the front end initially. Keep an eye on and see what's happening with that Chevron B26 of the Scribantis. That should be the car to beat. There comes the Formula Renault. Not a bad run so far there for that Formula Renault. And as I mentioned earlier on, Jensen and Besaidnout piloting that machine. Now under braking, the Shelby slowly but surely being caught here by that Ligier, and Kleinans, he's looking for an opportunity early on to get away. What happens with endurance racing, of course, is that initially there's a bit of frantic activity. Once they get themselves all sorted out, they get into little packs like we're seeing right here. Porsches, around the outside is one of the Nashes. You've got the little Golf there, the Mad Racing Golf. I think that's the Brummers that are in there with the 135. And 135, Truter and Lotter sharing that BMW. Nice little start to this one. They've kind of sorted themselves out coming out of KFM. There's the first of the Alphas. And John McLaughlin and Darren Winterboer will be sharing that one. Then you got the Porsche. That Porsche doing a super job. The 910 Classic Motorsport, Mark Altona and Steve Pickering piloting that machine. And look at that already. Some traffic for the two leading cars. There you can see very closely matched though. How tight is this? The B26 of Scribanti. That's Silvio Scribanti at the wheel right now. And just trying to pick up on which helmet was in the car there for the V8 powered Shelby Can-Am of the Campos transport machine. I think it might have been Keegan who started things out there. I'm just waiting to get a confirmation as we get a close-up shot of that Shelby as it heads down the back straight towards Cape Town corner. In the background, there goes the Dryzit Environment Lamborghini Huracan. And I think, yes, it is Keegan Campos that started things out there. Jason and Roy in pit lane, they'll be sharing the duties throughout the 400 Ks here. And it's going to be a tough ask here between these guys as they come in amongst some more back markers. They're into the mid-pack so far. So looking at the lap times, you're seeing 1 minute 11s and 1 minute 12s. In qualifying, they got down into the 109s. So really, absolutely massive differential between the front two cars and everybody else out there. The closest one to them is that Ligier so far of Kleinans. He's doing the 116s. And Greg Parton also into the 112s in the Lamborghini. So those are kind of the top lap times so far out of this category. But how tight is it? Those two sports cars are just locked together. Silvio Scribanti coming onto the braking markers down into Cape Town corner, sneaks up the inside of the Red Bull Audi there. That's car number 8 being piloted by Andre and Alex Johnson, the two Red Bull Audi drivers that participate normally here in the local saloon category and now fighting hard in an endurance championship series. This is round 2 of this championship as they head up into Engen corner past the works that are being put together there. Remember, Killarney International Raceway not only hosting this event, but will be hosting the final round of the World Rallycross Championship, and you can see all that work that's been put together there on the infield. And now, as you can see, the V8 all over the back of Scribanti. Scribanti trying to open up a bit of a margin, but I think it's just basically a lack of seat time that Silvio is fighting with there. Remember, the Campos boys have been in this car, and only a couple of weekends before this, we saw Jason Campos set an outright lap record at Killarney at the Motorsport Festival. So we know how good that V8 Shelby is. The crowd's enjoying this, and we're going into the night time. Remember, it is going to be into the night, and already some preparations and some modifications having to be done here. A couple of guys having some issues on their cars, and Hop Motorsport is one of them. So it looks like there's an issue there on the Juno. The Tri-Sierra Investments Juno of Adcock and Plitt have pulled in. The Ligier now in as well. So it looks like some frantic activity being done here by a couple of the drivers and by the teams to get their cars back into the hunt here. Fritz Kleinhans's Ligier in the pit lane, having to have some work done to it. Lights are on. They're just double checking everything, making sure you don't want to make a mistake in pit lane. It can be an extremely costly one. All of a sudden now, Dane Angel and Marcel Angel starting to make their way to the front end of the field and could possibly be leading out completely overall here by the looks of things. They've definitely started to open up a margin, and by the way things have gone so far, they've found a way to the front end. Looking back, there's the Juno back into the front end battle. Behind them comes the Motul Ferrari of Charles and Harry Arangis. And it looks like they're just trying to get around into pit lane now. Also with some work to do is one of the Lotus. And currently leading Class X there is Henny Trollope and Clinton Thorne. I'm doing a little bit of work there. Remember, they've got to plug that battery in the side to restart it. The Ligier makes its way back onto the circuit. And the bonnet going onto that one means that Clinton Thorne will be able to get back. See frantic activities amongst the teams there. Jason Campos definitely in comms with whoever's in the car at the moment, and looking to try and get that car back to the front end of the field. Remember, Dane Angel, Marcel Angel now at the front end of the Scribantis. You've got Keegan Campos in the car, or possibly Roy Campos, because I saw Jason definitely on the comms there from the sideline. The Mad Racing boys still in the hunt, and it looks like issues there for the 23 car. Team Lessons, Eric Salomon and Dave Sinclair having to pull in there in the Alf. So here comes the Dryset Environment Hurricane. Jackie Schechter going to be climbing out, and Greg Parton probably going to be taking over from him. The Juno back in. Oh, it's been a tough outing here for that car, and I'm not quite sure if it's going to get back on track. That was a nice sticker to see there, all driving in memory of Peter Goff, who unfortunately lost his life only a couple of days ago. And we wish him and his family all the very best and send our deepest sympathies to them. Couple of cars in pit lane just waiting for everything to be checked. Back on track goes the Tri-Sierra Investments Juno. And it looks like there's some issues there on the BMW. There goes the Campos car, looking to go back into the front end. But it looks like things have gone well here so far for the 458 Ferrari. It currently leads out. It's got about 2 or 3 laps ahead of everybody else. So a little bit of a maneuvering happening here, trying to close down on the Angel car. 45 is in the pit lane. And looks like some work to be done there on the fantastic racing of Veria and Jardine. Wayne Jardine, Mike Veria sharing that machine.
Going from the dusk into the dark is a bit difficult because the track changes to totally different. I think if I had gone straight into dark, it would be a lot better, but it was good.
We've got a little bit of a problem with the gearbox. It's slipping out of gear in third gear, but otherwise the car's going well.
Yeah, it was good. No problems. Car was going well. Economy seems pretty good. Car's handling. Tyres are looking after themselves. So, yeah, we're feeling good.
Visibility is a huge problem for us. We've just got the funny lights now. So, here we go.
Time for some yellow lenses on those visors to make sure that you can see well at night. Problems here for the 4 car.
I lost the right mirror like on lap 3, so I got no visibility on the right side of the car at all. That made it really, really tough. little bit of issue with the throttle sticking open as well, so that had to be managed. And then going into turn one of these faster cars, much quicker, could have overtaken me on the next straight, but decided to try and be a hero and just forced me off the road. So we've done some damage to the car. The guys brought it in, they fixed it, it's gone back out again. Fingers crossed we'll run to the end now, yeah.
A little bit of work to do now for the Scribantes. Let's see what Franco's got in mind as they get into the closing stages.
I think it's a bit early to be ecstatic, but yeah, at least my job's done. I've done the best I can do. Cars in the front. I see Campos seem to have a few problems, who's our main rival. Not that I'm happy about that, but I mean, it's the car's going well, team's performing great pit stop. My cousin must just bring it home now.
All right, up they go onto the circuit to resume the last part of this Campos Transport 400. Round 2 here of the South African Endurance Championship. And as you can see, light is now a big factor. Hopefully you got some decent lights on the front end of your car. Let's find out how it's going in the Formula Renault.
It's a bit tough out there, it's very dark. But the car's running all right. But unfortunately we had a problem with the front right fender. One of the brackets broke off, and we just come in to change it now. So we changed the driver now as well to Andre. So yeah, he's going to go out and make up a few laps now.
Top run in Class R right now, team lessons.
It's very nice, the track's nice, the car's nice. Unfortunately, we broke an accelerator cable, which lost us about 10 or 12 minutes, but otherwise everything's going well.
So the Panos in here as well with some issues to be sorted out. Looks like we're going to have the Lamborghini coming in too to get a final driver change. And let's find out from car 4 how things are gone.
The bumper, the whole front piece of the car broke, and we had to fix it now because otherwise if it wasn't fixed we couldn't go out again. It's quite exciting and hectic.
And is it preparing you? Do you think you're getting a lot of experience here for what you're going to do?
Very much of experience, yes.
Quick refuel here for the second of the Shelbys.
It's actually very nice starting in the daytime and then going into the night because you can get a feel for it, you can get the heat in the tyres, you can keep your lap times going. So even now when I came in I was still doing 18s, which is for our car it's pretty good. So it was very exciting, very nice. The weather's great, the visibility is actually excellent, the car's great. I think we're P4 or P5 at the moment. So if we hang around there somewhere, that's fantastic. I'm very happy.
Well, good to see them get the 4 car back on track, so well done to the College of Cape Town. Looks like the Shelby's about to make its way back out on track as well. And cars coming in now. And it looks like there might be a small issue here on the Lamborghini. Let's find out from Greg Parton what's gone wrong.
The splitter's been working itself loose, and the harder you push the car, the more noise it makes. And it's been worrying Jackie, so he's come in, I think, 3 or 4 times just for the splitter. But we found there were about 3 or 4 screws that had just loosened off and fallen out. So we put 3 new screws in, and we hope that'll get him to the end.
It's going well for some teams. A couple of teams that have got some issues out on track, and it looks like the Scribantes are being pulled into pit lane. Let's find out from Franco what's actually gone wrong on the car.
It would appear he pulled over with oil pressure problems. The software of the car's got all sort of safety thresholds built in, high temperature, low temperature, and oil pressure is one of them. And apparently the car cut out for low oil pressure. But when he cranked it now, it all sounded healthy, so let's hope he carries on. It's just unfortunate.
Well, as you can see, as he goes out there, there's only a couple of laps to go. You just got to get to the end. Right now, it's Scribante at the front end. The Camposes are sitting in second place, and then we've got Fritz Kleinans and James Forbes. And as the flag comes out, that is exactly how they're going to finish up. The Lamborghini Hurricane comes through for 4th place. It's the Panos there in 5th, and the flag now waving frantically to tell all the drivers that this Campos Transport 400 is now done and dusted. What a great event. Silvio is happy, so is Franco, and I'm sure they're going to be very happy with the team's effort to get that car back out on circuit after some little oil pressure problems. Celebrations in pit lane as well from both of the teams on the podium. They're going to be happy about that, and I'm sure they're looking forward to more of the same at the next round of the Africa Endurance Series Championship.
We were lucky. We must, feel sorry for Marcel and his crew, but this is endurance racing, and you take it anywhere you can get it. Sometimes you're unlucky, and sometimes you get lucky.
Our radio wasn't working in our helmet the whole race, so we never knew where we quite were, and we had a mechanical problem on the car. We got towed back, got back to the pits, managed to fix it, went out again, thought, well, maybe we can secure 2nd place. Lost the brakes at the end, spun. So it was just drama after drama, and what a great surprise to come through with a win like this. Absolute surprise, a great win for Team Scribonti.
Our fourth gear went in 30 minutes in while Keegan was in the car. A little bit of hard luck. The emotions got the better of him, but we tried to keep it going. My dad reported a good car, so we decided not to change the tyres. Almost cost us at the end there, but we brought it home. We knew what we needed to do, so we chuffed.
No, we're just glad to finish the race for once. The endurance series has been a hard one to enter for us. I'm just glad that overall we did well. It's a little bit tedious with gearboxes. But again, glad to see the checkered flag.
Roy.
Yeah, it's been a 3-year project. We nearly are three. If we don't finish this one, we're going to pack it up. But now we're going to try even harder.
I was going to say, now you've got a podium, you just need to get to the first step.
Yeah, and obviously unlucky for Marcel. And
we've got the podium a little bit through other people's misfortune right at the end. It's sad for the guys who didn't quite finish and get across the line. So I guess we were gifted a little bit, but in the end, this is endurance racing. We plugged away, we kept at it almost from the back, and to get on the podium at the end is testament to the team, testament to the owner of the car, and it's been a great day, great event. Thanks to Campos Transport for sponsoring the day, thanks for Mopar, thanks for everybody who organised today, and Action Race Boys, we are delighted. This is our first day out as a team. Fantastic day, thank you.
I took the last stint, the dark side, the first 10 minutes was a nightmare. Tried to find the brake markers, tried to find the corners, corner 2, you couldn't even see where you're going. At one stage I think I was mowing the lawn a little bit, or farming as they call it. But we stuck to it and we got better and faster, and we're just happy to be here, really, super.
We lost communications probably with half an hour to go. Just after we came and did a quick splash and dash to get to the end. Unfortunately, I've got limited mileage in the car, so I wasn't sure on when the fuel light comes on, how long you have to go. So I just started nursing the car, trying to save as much fuel as possible. So even though we completed 3 laps more than everyone else, unfortunately we're not classified, so a bit disappointed.
It's the first time Dane's been in the car. I think he drove exceptionally well. We started, we were supposed to start 6 on the grid. We started stone last because we couldn't get into the pit lane in time. So we came from the back, and with 3 minutes to go, we had a 4 or 5 lap lead. And unfortunately we lost communication, so we couldn't, and Dane couldn't tell us that he needs to come in for fuel. We couldn't tell him that he wasn't allowed in for fuel within 5 minutes. He could have basically stayed out, stopped at the start-finish line, waited for the time to come up and pushed the car across the line, and he would have still won the Enduro.
The next round of the Africa Endurance Championship takes place at the East London Grand Prix circuit on the 24th of June.